The wrong tone can lose the message.
I didn't at first, but I see it does. I believe, this is what I've learned from this. Most people full of shit. And my tone bothers me. Full of shit. Right? How can you listen to rap music and that tone? Fuck you, nigga, kill this bitch, suck. How can that tone not bother you? How can you listen to a tone of a man that you know nothing about, right? And it's all this public information about me on Google, about who I really am, what I really do in real life.
Gotcha.
So what I mean by most people, if they're offended by my tone, they full of shit. I thought actions speak louder than words. I don't shoot up blocks. I don't sell drugs. I'm not known for messing with children. There's no paperwork on me for snitching. I'm a father. You see what I'm saying? A real so I thought actions speak louder than words. So all of these people are caught up into this unrealistic world where they'll let a stranger who they know nothing about allow his tone to offend them and be okay with every other thing out in society. This one particular person's tone, you will overlook what he really does in real life. But you'll let someone get on there and trick you with the right tone. And they'll be a woman beater, they'll be a child molester, but they got the right tone.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So most people are full of shit. So I don't give a fuck about tone because my actions are still the same.
Got you. The reason I bring that up, right, like, you know, with a text message.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can misinterpret what the text message is saying because we're reading it with what we think their tone is when typing it.
Yeah.
When we see a person in person, we look at their facial expressions and we listen to the fluctuations of the voice and kind of understand.
CJ, go get that newspaper in the backseat for me. Leave that right there. Stop that. No, leave that right there. Go get that newspaper for me. I want everybody to see this because you make a valid point. I've lost a lot of people, but I haven't lost the politicians. I haven't lost the district attorneys. I haven't lost the police chiefs because they see the real person based on the actions.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So when I had the right tone, I think I started really doing public speaking. I really started doing the motivational speaking. That's what I started out doing all around the country, working on legislation and laws as a youth advocate, doing youth justice. I wore a bow tie every day. I wouldn't dare cuss. I didn't have dreads. I was very clean cut, and I was traveling around the country. When I had the right tone, man, people weren't paying attention to what I was trying to get people to pay attention to. When I had the right tone, right? If Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were alive today, people would pay them no attention because of their tone. Because of their tone. The key's over there. Because of their tone, I heard it. Because of their tone, right? Farrakhan. Young people we don't listen to Farrakhan because of their tone. We don't listen to the pastors because of they don't have the tone that we have. So what made me change my tune, right? What made me change my tune is because I was in the community, homie, with the children saying, look at our young brother, and this in the hood, right in Stop 6. I was saying, look at our young brother, don't do that. My words would bounce off. Say, look out, come on, brother, don't do that. Say, come on, little homie, don't do that. And then one day, the old man, who we all call Pops, came in and said, say, boy, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere, nigga, say, what the fuck wrong with you? Say, nigga, sit down some goddamn where, like, so I saw how they responded to that. I was offended by how he was talking to children because I didn't grow up being cursed at by adults, right? I didn't grow up in that environment, so I was very offended, but nobody's gonna say nothing to the old man. But nigga, we in the heart of Stop 6. So when the mothers come in to pick them up and we say what he done, the mama say, well, I'm gonna beat your goddamn, we're gonna beat your motherfucking ass. So I see how I'm observing, right? I'm learning. So when we walk the kids home and we say, you know, hey, we want to take the kids on a field trip, and the mama look at them, why you got them goddamn shoes on? Get in the goddamn house, put some shoes on. I ain't tell you look like that. So I saw how they talk to their children in the hood, homie. So on the way to school, I'm listening to K104, I'm listening to 97.9, I'm listening to the topics of conversation that black radio have on the airplay as we're taking our children to school, and they know our kids in the car. Right? So I'm looking at shows like Empire. I'm visiting people's households and I'm seeing them and their children all watching Love and Hip Hop Reunion. And it's some vulgar stuff. Man, what's wrong with my tone? But when I was speaking like this, homie, this is a law school. When I was in law school, this right here says Charleston White from courtroom to role model in 180-degree turn. This is on the front page of the most prestigious law schools in North Texas. I was on the front page paper of the American Bar Association Journal. I've gone to the Supreme Court and worked to get juvenile life without parole abolished in this country. When I was speaking, trying to tell everybody, say, man, these are one of the only countries that'll lock children up. Man, didn't nobody pay me no attention. But then Eddie Murphy came with the movie Dolomite. Came out on Netflix. Yeah. I grew up believing Dolomite was real. I didn't know Rudy Ray Moore was playing Dolomite. I didn't know he really went to the streets and recorded what people said in the streets, went home and created a character. When I saw that a light came on, I said, aha. So I started listening out in the hood to different shit. Damn stupid motherfucker. That's how niggas talk to each other in the hood. That's how mothers talk to the nigga they dating. Nigga, if you don't get your lazy ass up, nigga, you fucking with all them bitches, you behind. So all I'm doing is repeating everything I done heard in the hood. And it offend y'all. But when I was doing this, I've been on every publication you can think of. The Texas Tribune, Dallas Observer, Houston Chronicles, Fort Worth Star. You can't, this within the last 8 to 10 years. As recently to Walter one just last year. The biggest journalism school in the world. So when I was talking like that, wasn't nobody paying me no attention. But then when I started speaking the language of the people, fuck you, nigga, bitch, hoe, suck my dick. That's how we talk to one another. So now the tone offends y'all. Man, y'all full of shit. You can cut it off now.
For sure. I get what you're saying, but I kind of look at it like sports, right? When you have a team, you understand your players when you're the coach.
Yeah.
You know, with some players, you light a fire under their ass, get your ass up, let's go. You cuss their ass out, and it motivates them.
Yeah.
But then you have some players on your team, that talk don't work for them. In fact, it shuts them down.
I'm not trying to motivate black people. I don't give a fuck about black people. Because when I was working on laws and legislation, when I was going to city council every Tuesday for a year and a half straight, I ain't see black people down there fighting for black people. When I'm down in them juvenile detention centers, I don't see black organizations down there with them kids. From Gainesville, Giddings, Mart, Brownwood, Ron Jackson, Cottrell House, McFadden Ranch. I don't see these black people, so I don't give a fuck about black people, homie. I created a program called Helping Young People Excel. What I say on the internet don't stop me from working on capital murder cases. I'm partnering with a judge right now. Shout out to Lisa Pampton, an attorney getting ready to run for a judge. I helped get the mayor elected in my city. You think I give a fuck who offended? None of y'all have done this work. None of y'all have joined in when I say, hey, man, we got a kid just getting out the juvenile detention center, and I put it on my YouTube channel, and we show up here at Boss Talk 101, and he come in here and pick out whatever he... No black people is with me, so who give a fuck about motivating them, homie, when they don't wake up and make their beds? These same black people are unmotivated when they look in the mirror, so how the fuck I'm gonna motivate these niggas? These same black people hate the person they had a baby with. How the fuck I'm gonna motivate them? And they hate their baby mama, they hate their baby daddy. They resent their own mothers and fathers. How I'm gonna motivate them people? I stay focused on the children because Frederick Douglass.
Small towns across America have been left behind in wireless coverage.
We have a lot of issues with our cell service, calls dropping, and areas where we don't have internet.
Where I work is pretty rural, and I don't really get any phone service. You get what you get.
T-Mobile believes no town should be left behind. That's why we've been investing billions to bring our award-winning 5G network to small towns just like yours. And to celebrate, we're introducing our hometown discount. Switch to T-Mobile at your local store and get 25% off for life. Switch today.
On attempted murder, trying to run these niggas over in a stolen car. Had just gotten 2 months before that, had just got put on a year of probation for shooting at these white people at a pizza inn for calling me and my friends a nigger. So I was really spiraling out of control. So when we committed that murder, it was funny, you know, lack of brain development. Yeah, niggas thought it was funny. And then I grew up with this, with a desire to want to avenge, you know, against white people. So most of my crimes as a child was predicated toward Caucasian people, you know, snatching white women purses, and so, you know, it was more race driven. But that day it wasn't. He just so happened to be a white man who tried to, you know, thwart us from stealing those starter jackets. So boom, I get in the back seat, sitting on the gun. My partner in the front seat. Mr. Levy jumped on the hood, started hitting the windshield with his wrench. And my partner looking back at me. And I'm telling him, man, shoot that motherfucker, but he ain't got the gun. I'm sitting on the motherfucker. So I give it to him. And he said, man, what y'all went in there and done? Because the glass going in his face. Sir, I don't know what they done. Man, shoot that motherfucker. So Mr. Levy reached in the car, cut the car off, snatched the keys out. And when I got out, I said, man, give us back them keys. And he said, if y'all want your keys, y'all gotta wait for the police. But by this time, my partner coming from around. And he got the gun on the side. And I'm steady saying, man, shoot him. Shoot him. And he shoot him. And he died right there in the parking lot, broad daylight. So headline news cameras, little old manhunt looking for us. We get caught like a few hours later. And I remember being arrested. And the word is capital murder. Yeah, man, that shit hit a nigga's soul. But as a kid, you can't process it. I bet. You don't have no understanding. You lack the brain development. Your brain don't develop to 25. You don't have a prefrontal cortex development to be able to process the reasoning and the logic behind what you had just done, and then be able to understand the severity of it and the consequences. Nigga woke up the next morning to go see the judge and was facing 40 years at 14 years old. So I ended up getting 12 years. Shout out to Carl Mallory, God rest his soul, and Judge Louis Stearns, who was an attorney at the time. Went into TYC, 91. So we the first generation of children in Texas to be tried and adjudicated for the crime of murder, who fell under Texas juvenile determined sentencing law, where a kid can be sentenced up to 40 years. So I went into the juvenile system, man, in 1991. Gang banging hadn't really started. I was in juvenile detention center, so I knew Lil Rank, I knew all the major, figures when they was taking off back then. So we all met up in juvenile detention center. I went off to TYC, and last thing my brother told me was, shit, Blue, he was crying right after my trial. And he said, shit, Blue, don't let them nigga go down there and punk you. Shit, that's all I needed to hear, nigga. So shit, nigga, I went down there. And till this day, you ask any nigga come through that area from 1991 and 98 about Charleston White, a.k.a. C-Nut. Shit, man. Yeah, nigga, I snapped my fingers and caused a riot. Yeah, I was telling niggas what to do. I worked my way to be a gang leader. So when I got into the juvenile system and finally got exposed to the gang culture up close and personal, coming from a single parent home, it was everything I was looking for. So I joined Neighborhood Rolling 60 Crips. Shout out to the big homie OG Zim, my nigga Swade, Lonnie Bolton, out of motherfucking me G County, man. My nigga C-Fly Nim, man. My nigga Five Figure, Milton Kelly. We call him Little Menace, man, out of that Northwest side. Man, shout out to Damon Wills, King Shoe, Carl Archie, man, I can go on and on, man. Greg Henry, Carl Childress, Darryl Monroe, the nigga, D Guy from 33rd. So yeah, nah, homie, I went down there and represent little old bitty nigga. Yeah, so yeah, I really put it down. Shout out to Larry Rudd, Richard Hayes, Keith Booker. Yeah, nah, man, Tim Gasper, Greg Henry. So nah, man, I asked them niggas about me. So out of all these videos I done made, out of all these thousands of videos on YouTube, and I done 7 years in the juvenile system. I'm raised by the state. All the niggas went to, so a lot of these niggas, if I wasn't a stand-up nigga, or if I was a whole ass nigga, it would have been some video, would have been made. And they said, nah, man, when that nigga was in Gideon, he used to, man, or it ain't nobody on no videos that can come out and say, nah, man, that little nigga wasn't thoroughbred. So I spent 4 years, I spent 4 years, man, Shout out to my nigga Charles Reynolds too, man. Edwin DeBro. You talking about young niggas got locked up at 12 years old, did 27, 28 years for that, nigga.
Crazy.
So yeah, them my niggas, and it's 50 down there, 50 of them. So Dewberry, Anthony Dewberry, man. Nah, man. Prince Rashid, man. Fifth Ward, nigga. But nah, man. Them niggas was trying to go home, and I took